Ezekiel saw the wheel way in the middle of the air, the song goes. Well, Ezekiel saw way more than a wheel. There are three major visions which Ezekiel saw, along with other visions that are mentioned throughout the book. The first major vision is in chapter 1, where he saw the cloud with the zone, a Greek word from which our English word zoo comes from, meaning living creatures. And later they were called cherubim, which comes from the Hebrew. Next to the cherubim, he saw wheels with life in them, and above the wheels was a throne with the vision of a man. The second major vision was of the glory of God, and the third major vision was of a city on a high mountain, which is described in the last 10 chapters of the book. Well, Ezekiel was a married priest who was called a watchman and was among the captivity at the river Chebar on the way to Babylon. Other people that were mentioned in the book of Ezekiel were the condemned priests, the prophets and elders. Then there was the ruler of Tyre, and the Pharaoh of Egypt, and Gog, the ruler of Rosh, Meshech, and Tubal. The places that were mentioned by Ezekiel are many and include some of the same places that Jeremiah mentioned: Ammon, Edom, Moab, and today's Jordan; Philistia, in today's Gaza Strip; Babylon, in today's Iraq; Tyre and Sidon, in today's Lebanon and Egypt. But Jerusalem was the center of the prophecy, along with the unnamed city described in the last 10 chapters of the book. There are many signs and parables mentioned in Ezekiel. There is the sign of the brick and frying pan, the parable of the vine, the eagle and the vine, the unripe grapes, the parable of lamentation, the parable of the kettle, and the parable of the trees. Judgment on Israel and Jerusalem, with a comparison to two harlot sisters, is a major theme of Ezekiel. But a future restoration is described in the last 10 chapters concerning the city on a high mountain west of Galilee, which city had a temple, the priesthood of Zadok, and the presence of the glory of the Lord. The city had as its head one called in Greek the Aphagumenos, or hegemon, the leader of the one guiding. From out of the house in the city was a river flowing eastwards towards Galilee and then down to Arabia, with fruit trees with healing properties that appeared on both sides of the river. There's also mention of a visitation by a true shepherd, a new heart and spirit for the people, in the day of the Lord. Then there's the amazing event having taken place in our time of the dry bones, the gathering of the Jewish diaspora, and the resettlement of Israel, along with a future war of Gog and Magog with nations warring against Jerusalem. Well, I hope you'll join us as we go through the fascinating book of Ezekiel and all the relevant things which possibly affect us even today. God bless.